Hello everyone, and welcome to the Security Operations or the SOC 101 course presented by TCM Security Academy. And I first just want to take a moment, to thank you, yourself, for putting your trust in me, myself, and to TCM to deliver what I think is the most thorough and the most exciting course that I've ever been able to work on. And so I'm so excited to jump into it with you. If you want to learn how to become a SOC analyst, or if you're already a SOC analyst and want to fill those knowledge or methodology or practical skill gaps, well, you've come to the right place. And so before we dive in, let's cover some standard housekeeping tasks and sort of set the stage for what we're going to be covering. So first, I want to formally introduce myself. And so my name is Andrew Prince, and I go by MalwareCube on the internet. And if you want to know more about me or my background, well, I'm a security nerd. I am a blue teamer by day, and I've worked in SOC environments for a number of years. And I've even dabbled a bit in offensive security as well. I'm also Canadian, and so you might be able to tell from the way I pronounce or spell certain words, or you might hear me apologize a bit too often throughout this course, and so sorry in advance. And on this slide, I have some of my background listed here. And so things like education and previous roles, or some credentials or affiliations, and all these shiny collectible badges over in the lower right, along with some links where you can reach myself and TCM Security. And before we jump in, I just want to take a second to talk about why I'm so proud to have worked on this course and to be able to deliver it to you. I think cybersecurity is the most amazing and exciting field to be in. It really is my passion, and I didn't always know that. Before I went down this path, well, I actually studied design. And then I went into development and did that for a few years. But I never really considered myself passionate in any of those fields. And it wasn't until I was introduced into the security field by some colleagues that I realized it was possible to love what you do as a job and have fun doing it. And so I truly believe that anyone is capable of breaking into this field. And if Blue Team and SOC work is something that you want to do, or the path that you want to start going down as you gain experience, which is a fantastic idea by the way, well, I want to help you as much as I can. And that's why I created this course, to share my knowledge and experience and lessons learned. The things I wish I knew when I was becoming a security professional. You know, these are all things I wish someone had sat me down and showed me during my first job as a SOC analyst. And so I have this course as a platform, or I guess an outlet, to share stories from the field or insights, and present all of this to you along with endless hours of research and compilation, putting all of this into an engaging and practical format for you to learn from. And so all of that is to say, basically, I really hope you enjoy this course and find value from the love that was put into it. And lastly, some people say that I can speak too fast or too slowly, but more often than not, it's that I speak too fast. And so either way, you can always click on the settings icon in the bottom right of the video player and adjust the playback speed. And so feel free to slow me down, or if you're like me, speed it up as necessary. And you can also turn on the captions under video settings as well. Before we cover the course objectives, well, let's first talk about why would you want to take this course in the first place? You're here, right? So you're obviously interested in the topic, but specifically there are a number of important tangible takeaways that I want you to get out of this course. The first one here is, well, something that we truly stand for at TCM, which is practicality. And so this course, save for the foundation section, is going to have a practical focus first. I'm going to dive into real tools and realistic scenarios, and walk you through hands-on labs that you can follow along with and complete yourself, and treat as projects and discussion points during job interviews. Additionally, there is absolutely a shortage of skilled SOC analysts and blue teamers in the industry, especially right now. Organizations are looking for talent with hands-on experience and practical skills. And it's true that many skills and tools can and will be taught on the job, but having exposure to the domains covered in this course is going to give you such a strong leg up and an ability to speak intelligently with hiring managers and future colleagues. Which ties into job readiness, right? And so having tangible skills and experience within these domains is going to build up such a strong holistic view of blue team operations and fill any knowledge gaps that you had previously, and honestly just set you on the right path. And even if you're already in the industry, even as a SOC analyst, well, I trust that we'll be able to fill in some gaps here and level up your blue team skill set, right? There might be tools or methodologies that you don't typically see or interact with in your day-to-day operations. And so once again, giving you that holistic view and making you as strong of an analyst as you can be. All right, and here we go. These are the course objectives and all of the topics and methodologies that I want to cover throughout this course. And so first of all, we want to understand the foundational principles and practices of a security operations center. right? And this is really important. We need to know what makes up a SOC, or even what does a SOC analyst actually do? What different tools or metrics do they use and follow? We want to learn techniques for analyzing and identifying phishing attacks, right? So how can we safely and accurately analyze potential malicious emails? And also, how can we proactively protect our organizations from phishing as well? We want to develop skills in monitoring network traffic for security threats and anomalies, right? So how can we analyze network traffic and gather artifacts? Or how can we create detection and prevention rules to block malicious traffic? We're going to learn how to monitor and analyze endpoint security events as well, right? So how can we identify suspicious happenings and processes on a system? Or how can we work with our endpoint detection tools to triage alerts? We're going to learn how to use a SIEM for security event correlation and analysis and incident management, right? And so this is a big one here. But we're not just going to stick to the SIEM. So we're going to learn how can we analyze logs manually and also with tools. And so how can we search through our SIEM to investigate and correlate and identify security incidents? And next, we're going to take all of this and sort of converge to learn how to leverage threat intelligence to enhance our security operations and incident response, right? And so what indicators or models or frameworks can we use to understand attacks better? And how can we write and consume detection rules to enhance our detection capabilities? We're going to develop an understanding of digital forensic processes and common tools and methodologies when it comes to forensics, right? So how can we acquire and analyze forensic data and artifacts and make conclusions? And lastly here, we're going to understand the process and procedures and best practices for incident response. And so technically, everything we're doing up to this point involves incident response in some way, right? We're going to talk about the core concepts of a SOC analyst to monitor, detect, analyze, and respond. And the response effort, well, is always going to trickle up to any domain that we cover here. And so we're going to learn how organizations respond to incidents, and what role do us as analysts play in incident response, or IR, as well. And you can see how the objectives that we just covered here start to map nicely with the domains and the outline of this course. And I've kind of structured everything in a way that builds off of each other and flows nicely. And if you've taken a TCM course before, well, you'll notice that we're following a very similar structure and format here. And so the bulk of this course is going to be delivered through these bite-sized video lessons. And there's going to be a major practical focus here as well. And so you'll be able to follow along and set up your own lab machines to configure security tools and install appliances or applications, and perform a lot of hands-on analysis. And through that, we're going to have a number of hands-on exercises and challenges throughout the course as well, to really drive home some of these concepts and methodologies. And each module or section within the course is going to have its own quiz, again, to really drive home some of the most important concepts or those gotchas that you'll really want to take with you in the field. And the course will also be full of resources and links and bookmarks for you to get your hands on additional practice or pass or research options to investigate anything we cover here in more detail. And within the public repository for this course, there will be a bookmarks file that's full of this kind of thing for you to add to your own browser for reference. And so with all of this, I'm super excited to jump in, and I really look forward to going through all of this with you.